Hi, welcome to a video edition of the Yankees blog. Been lagging a little bit in the blog department. I've been getting a lot of complaints with both the YankeeZblog blog as well as the Yankees blog. And I got some writing projects I'm working on, and we all know about the acting. Ooh. So been kind of lagging a little bit. I've been getting a lot of complaints. So let me, I'm going to try tinkering some new stuff. I'm going to try the video version, see how it flies. Basically getting into the team before the winter meetings, and because I get a lot of people, asking me, how's this Yankee team going to be next year? And my answer to them is, it's going to be the same goddamn team, really. I mean, all these guys are still locked up on long-term contracts. The only difference really is going to be Jeter, which, I know it's going to be sacrilege to say, it's going to be a little addition by subtraction, because let's be frank. Alright, he gave us the great September, he gave us that amazing final game at Yankee Stadium, but for the most part, 2014, he sucked. And having him at the two-hole, I think, was part of the reason the lineup was a little sluggish. I mean, you would get Ellsbury would get on, and then when Jeter would get on, Jeter would get a double play, or he would pop up, and then, the inning would just go nowhere. Now, you could move Gardner to the second hole, or even flip-flopping what Girardi did back in 2009 with, Ellsbury and Dame. You kind of flipped those two. Everyone thought Girardi was nuts. Actually, it paid off dividends. You could have either Gardner first, Ellsbury second, or Ellsbury first, Gardner second, whatever way. Those guys, they're pains in the asses. They get on base, they steal, they do double steals, they'll bunt, and the pitcher's paying more attention to them. Next thing you know, they throw a meatball right down the middle, and someone like Beltran or Teixeira can knock it out. And stuff like that is what gets the offense going. Last year, they didn't really have that. Ellsbury would get on, Jeter would get on, get at bat, and this inning would go nowhere. So, again, great, thanks for the memories, Jeter. I love Jeter, all that stuff, but hey, look, he picked the perfect time to go. The guy has always made the right decision. You could just start to see it was wearing out, and again, he gave us a final great game, but it was over. That's it. And it's just kind of funny that on that game was really, in my mind, was probably the official end of the 2014 baseball season. I said to myself when Jeter hit that game, when he hit, nothing for the rest of this baseball season is going to be better than that moment. And I was right, because frankly, the World Series, no one gave a shit. I mean, I had the lowest ratings, and it was perfect on the night, because that night was also the Giants game against the Redskins, and it gave us an opportunity to transition right from Yankee baseball into Giant football. The problem is the Giants suck, the Knicks suck, so now we transition right back into Yankee baseball. Winter meetings are coming up soon, so let's look around the team. McCann, he's still going to be a catcher. You have him locked up for another 4 years. Teixeira, you got 2 more years hit him at first base. Prado's locked up for at least another year at second. Shortstop, we'll see who to bring in. I like Asdrubal Cabrera. Low maintenance, still kind of young. What do they say? Low risk, high reward. I don't want Troy Tulowitzki. I know it's the sexy name. I know he wants to be a Yankee, but the guy was hurt again last year. He's hurt every year. Yes, he's an amazing talent, but the guy's always hurt. And frankly, this team's loaded with enough 30-year-olds who are injury plagued all the time. Unless what they did with Texas, you remember the first A-Rod deal, they got Texas to eat half that contract, and Yankees only paying like $13 million, which is like a bargain. If you get the Rockies to do something like that, maybe I consider it. Other than that, I don't want the guy. It's not worth it. He makes too much, and he's always hurt. Forget about it. Get Asdrubal Cabrera or some other low-key guy. Third base, same thing, low-key. Don't spend a lot of money. Chase Headley will be fine. Yes, I know he didn't tear the cover off the ball, but he's just a hard-working, blue-collar guy. And frankly, the good part about it is his defense. Because last year, that was a problem. They were kicking the ball all around place, especially at third base. You had Kelly Johnson there, who not only was a bad defender, but he sucked at the plate. Then they brought in Zacharias Wheeler, whatever that's his name, Wheeler, I think. Kind of the Kirby Puckett impersonator. He sucked. He was kicking the ball around. So at least when they brought in Chase Headley, it shored up the defense. I'll take it again. If you get him on a cheap, just for a 1 or 2 million, 1 or 2 year deal, that's fine with me. Yes, I know he's not the same hitter anymore. He was probably juicing because he's still young, and his numbers just dropped out of nowhere for some crazy reason. Now, A-Rod, yes, he's going to be there. It's going to be the circus freak show, but at best, with his condition, he's only be able to play third base maybe once or twice a week. So you need it in every third baseman. Bring in Chase Headley. Have A-Rod as your DH most of the time, but you also have to flip-flop the DH spot a lot with Beltran, Teixeira, give them some days off. Left field, Gardner again. Center field's going to be Ellsbury. Right field, Beltran. Yes, Beltran also sucked last year, but he did get off to a good start. He had like 5 home runs before you knew it, but then he had a thing. He crashed into the wall, Tampa, had the bone spur thing in his elbow, and he was never the same player. I would expect him to be a little better. I mean, he was hitting 200 last year. I mean, you can't suck that bad. If he hits 280, bops out 20, 25 home runs, I could see him doing that. Same with Teixeira, yes. He was hitting like 200 for most of the years, but you got to remember, he was coming back from a major wrist injury, and it's usually the year after that is when you get more strength in the wrist. So again, I don't think he's going to be a world beater, but again, he'll be a usual Teixeira hitting 240, but the games he was in there, you got to admit, he was hitting home runs. So get him in there, he could still bop 25 home runs for you. McCann started up the year terribly, looked like a bust, sucked, all that stuff. Did pick it up a little, towards the second half of the season. So again, I don't think he's going to be a world beater next year, but I expect him at least, now that he kind of knows what the deal is here, I expect him to get a little better start, and that's really what it's going to be. It's getting the most from these guys, because frankly, there's no one you're going to bring in here, no big trade. You're not getting Pujols in his prime. You're not getting Josh Hamilton in here, from 2008. So these are the guys you got. A bunch of 35, 38-year-olds who, they hit power, but the 30, they're going to be hurt half the time, so they're just going to have to manage through it. But again, I like the idea of no more Jeter and just having Gardner and Ellsbury kind of setting the table and kind of creating runs and letting, distracting the pitches, and maybe that'll get the home run balls flying. And, for A-Rod, we don't know what to get from this guy. He's going to probably have, it's going to be, he's going to get booed every time, and it's going to be this and that. I just think if he's healthy, he can still hit you 20, 25 home runs, bat 265, 270, maybe driving about 75 RBIs. They live with that. And again, because the game has changed. Yeah, the World Series sucked. The ratings are through the basement, but it proves that the game is different. It's not like the 2003, 2004 Yankees or Red Sox where it was all about having these big mass unit home runs and all that. It's all about now just the bullpens, scratching runs across. So again, last year, if their offense was just a mediocre, they would have made the playoffs. So again, all you have to ask these guys to be is just be mediocre. They don't have to be great. Just be mediocre, scratch enough runs. We're going to get right into the pitching now. The bullshit, Tanaka's back. No, he's not back. I know he threw a few innings in September, but, he's pitching with a torn elbow. So what's going to happen is as soon as he throws a splitter, that thing's going to rip any minute now. He should have gotten to Tommy John right away, but what's going to happen is he'll get into the season, we'll get about late May, he's going to rip that thing, so now you're going to lose him for 2015, you can lose him for 2016. Should have the surgery ready, but nah. So I'm not even though, yes, he's penciled in as the ace, I'm not counting him, because that thing's going to rip any minute now. Who's going to be the ace is Pineda. After that, right now, the way it looks, you got to go CC, even though he's coming back from injuries, looked like crap. But I think part of his injury was the knee problem that he finally got fixed. That's why the velocity is down, the control is down, because the push-off foot was all screwed up. So the knee's better. I assume he's going to be better. So I'll have him pencil at number 2. Nova, he's coming back from Tommy John, but he's not going to be available till around late June, July. So you can keep him on the back end there. So other than that, the Yankees going to go pick some guys, Brandon McCarthy, who was fabulous. I mean, he literally came in last year and was the ace. He's a free agent. Now, his success might bring his price tag up, but I'd be open to having him back for, that. Kuroda, I would say goodbye. I mean, first 2 years were awesome. Last year, and you guys turning 40. Thanks for everything, Kuroda, goodbye. So he's gone. And maybe give someone a shot. Like Adam Warren, Shane Greencamp last year looked all right. Give him a shot. And again, you don't really need a great starting pitching, because again, what the World Series proved is it's all going to be about the 6-inning pitcher and his great bullpen. And let me get to the bullpen right now. David Robinson, got to resign him. He declined the 15-year mil option. But again, if the Yankees could offer maybe a 3 or 4 year deal at 15 per, it's market value. I'm sure Robinson will take it. I mean, he's young, he's proven, and he's not one of these flamethrowers that has to throw 97 to get you out. I mean, he gets you out with 91, 92 in good control, just like Mariano did. Resign the guy, because how many closers you see come here and this crap, this suck. This guy, he came up through the system, he's homegrown, we know he can pitch it, he's going to be good, he's still young, low-key guy. It's a bargain at 15 mil. Sign him right now. Get Betances as your 8th inning guy, and Sean Kelly, and kind of mix match through the 6th and 7th inning, and just have a great bullpen. Again, with Betances and Robinson, the Yankees had probably